Hello, and welcome to Senate Voice. I'm JD Shoemate. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, is an Obama-era immigration policy that helped keep immigrants who had been brought here by their parents in what is likely the only country they've ever known. The policy has recently been suspended by the Trump administration, although the president has given Congress 6 months to introduce legislation to protect the Dreamers already here. Approximately 800,000 individuals are enrolled in the program already. Today, we'd like to discuss DACA with our guests.
Hello, my name is Juan Sandoval. I'm Vice President of the SGA.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, I'm Gladys Pineda-Lord. I am the Director of International Community Outreach. Thanks for inviting us.
And I'm Kenneth Goldsmith. I'm a Professor of Legal Studies here at Chat State.
Thank you all for joining us. One of the biggest complaints about DACA has been that the beneficiaries are lawbreakers who hurt the wages and employments of native-born Americans. Is that a fact? And how would you respond to these allegations?
I said normally it's like a misunderstanding in that area because I think there is so much input from the immigrant community, in fact, and these students are coming here at early age and they are paying taxes and they are just trying to further themselves up in education. So to me, that really is impacting not just the legislation, but also the opportunities, and we're stopping these kids from moving up, and not just kids, but now we have so many. We have, just in Tennessee, we are talking about 8,340. So I know in the country it's 800,000, but in Tennessee, so it is very important what we are, this concept that we have and the misunderstandings in this area.
Many people believe the surge of minors at our southern border was a response to DACA. It is said that they felt like they would be protected thanks to Obama's executive order. Is this being characterized appropriately?
I would say no. I think the evidence is pretty clear that most of those children that have been brought here are coming from areas where there's extreme civil strife and economic strife. And I think it's more of the American dream than it is per se to be able to get covered under DACA.
Another criticism of DACA has been that immigrants are drawing benefits and taking them away from citizens that need them. What, if any, restrictions do you currently face under DACA?
I do believe that, the restrictions that people under DACA face is that they don't qualify for the same benefits citizens would qualify because they're under a different program because their status is different. They face the restrictions of not being able to be aided by the government, such as like welfare, housing, or disemployment checks like any regular citizen would get. They do pay taxes that they don't receive, and they also pay more taxes because they have to apply for the DACA, but they don't get those benefits from the extra taxes they pay.
Okay. Tying in the previous question, it's also been alleged that Dreamers took jobs away from Americans. Is this true?
I don't believe so. I think that Dreamers, they don't take the same jobs that Americans usually go for. Dreamers, they're usually under the age of like anywhere from 16 till 22 because the program was introduced around 2008, 2009 under the Obama administration. So most of the Dreamers are currently within high school and college or a little bit after college. So the jobs that they're applying for are different than the jobs that most Americans already would hold. Well, because most of the Americans that have those jobs have been out of college for a while and have been established in their fields. I believe that where jobs are going, they're going overseas. And most Americans don't see that the jobs like manufacturing and other jobs like medication and stuff like that, they're going to China or they're going to like other countries where taxes aren't as high as they are in the United States.
Okay. Many have criticized the fact that DACA immigrants have not sought a path to citizenship. How would you respond to that criticism?
DACA is not a direct path for citizenship. Like I mentioned before, DACA is in its own category. What DACA does, it acknowledges like students or people under the program as kind of temporary residents, but not the same. But they don't get the same benefits temporary residents get. It classifies them as DARP, is it DARPy? Lurpies,
Mm-hmm.
which it's like legal.
It gives them status and protection from deportation, but really not much more.
Okay. Yes. And what do you believe U.S. citizens need to know with the upcoming changes to the immigration policy? Is there anything you would like to throw out there?
Well, there's a huge it depends. It does depend on what Congress decides to do. We haven't seen comprehensive immigration reform passed or even debated very effectively in this country. So whether this is dealt as a separate item or whether it's included in a larger package, it's very hard to say.
I agree. The fact that we are dealing right now, just DACA itself, it came as a band-aid of a big issue. So the immigration reform is what is needed really deep from the root. But right now we have to advise the individuals that are covered by the DACA to make sure that they renew, that they understand what are their rights, that they understand what when expirations. I think they have to have some sort of legal advice. And in fact, that's what I mentioned, that we have been hosting some of the in collaboration with Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition, some workshops where we are able to kind of customize, because it's case by case. Everybody that is entering is in different times, they are expiring or they have to renew in different times. And it's very important and very critical that the people understand, and really using this space to call the congressman to make sure that they support the DREAM Act, because these individuals are supporting our economy, are part of our study body, and they are really, if DACA is not passed, or if we don't have an immigration reform or the DREAM Act, there is going to be a critical impact, the millions of money, because these individuals are already having cars, homes, mortgages, and this is going to impact us all, really.
Speaking of which, you're hosting DACA screening renewal workshops. Would you
Yes.
like to tell us when and where the next one is?
Yeah, I think this is the best advice that I have for the DACA students or anyone that is impacted or know of someone that is impacted by DACA or covered by DACA and their families, is to attend the workshops. Locally, we are going to have one in September 30th. We already host a couple of them in Howard High School. It's a good opportunity. I want to make sure that the people know there is some requirements. You have to have your approval letter from DACA, the front and back copy of your card, which the EAD card, and a list of every address where they have been living, plus a money order of $495. We are going to have 4 attorneys in the staff, and they will be able to kind of direct each person. We need that the people make the appointments. This is the kind of an effort for Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition. So their phone number is 615-414-1030. It's important that people can make an appointment if they want to go, families, and understand better what's their next step, because knowing your rights is a very critical, instead of getting paranoid and acting without legal advice is the best thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us and being willing to discuss this hot button topic. And that's it for this episode of Student Voice. For more information about Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival, please visit the Department of Homeland Security's website. And don't forget about the September 30th workshop at All Saints Academy. Have a great day.